So you finally made it out of plat and now you're in diamond. This is where it starts to get really tricky. So in my opinion, there are different levels of diamond players. There are diamond players that are more close to the plat skill level. There are diamond players that are just kind of mediocre and just strictly diamond and they cannot get out of diamond whatsoever. And then there are the diamond players that are closer to the crimson skill level and they play a majority of crimsons all the time. For a lot of people, diamond, I would say, is their goal in rank play. That's probably their ceiling. They want to get to diamond. That's the best they can do. And for a lot of people, diamond is the floor. Every rank they get set back to diamond and they could easily get out of diamond every time, and they're majority of the time just stuck in crimson. So the diamond players that are closer to the plat rank and skill level, they're majority of the time gonna play mostly plats. They're gonna think they're really good because the game is trying to tell them that their skill level is closer to the plat rank. So they're not really gonna play any crimsons. They're not gonna play any iridescents, because yes, some diamonds still do play iridescents, and they might even still play gold players. So they're not really playing the upper echelon of players in rank play. And surprisingly, there's not a lot of people in the world that are in diamond. So if you do get to the diamond rank, you're probably in the top upper percent of the world. I would say that's an achievement in itself. Personally, I've always been crimson and above, so every time I reset, it just feels like everybody in the world is fucking diamond until you look at the stats, but realistically everyone in the world is gold or plat. So for me personally, whenever I get reset back to diamond, I'm always playing the crimsons or the people that got to iridescent the previous season before. I'm never playing the plats, I'm never playing the gold. So the whole time I play rank play, it feels like I'm only playing iridescent skill level or high skill crimson players. So I feel like I never get the real chance to see what it feels like to play any plat players. Sometimes I play real diamond players, but then you can really tell who's just hard stuck in diamond and who made it past diamond every single season just by the way they play. Once you get to crimson, the game gets so much faster. You have to react so much faster. You have to make plays so much faster. You don't really have any time to think about stuff. You got to think while you're playing. You got to think while you're moving. You can't just sit there and think what I'm gonna do next, because everything happens so fast that if you start thinking too long, that could change the whole game. That could lose you the game, or that can absolutely win you the game if you make the right play. And I would say at this level, if you're solo queuing, this is going to be the start of the hardest ranks to start solo queuing in, just because almost every single person in crimson knows what they're doing for the most part, and mostly everyone is playing in full stacks or 3 stacks. So everyone is calming, everyone knows what they're doing, everyone majority of the time looks at their minimap, and everyone knows how to shoot their gun in these ranks. I've been saying this in every single video, but this has been the easiest Call of Duty to shoot your gun straight. They've dumbed it down so much with aim assist. They took away the visual recoil and they just made it so easy. They simplified the shooting mechanics so much that anybody could just hop on. If you're on controller, if you're on mouse and keyboards, it's a whole nother story. But if you're on controller, you can just hop on and you could just shoot straight no matter what, no matter how far they are, no matter how close they are. So in these ranks and crimson ranks, it comes down to your IQ, it comes down to your reaction time, and it comes down to the plays you make on the map. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, okay, I'm in diamond and I've beaten a lot of crimson players, but that's because crimson players and diamond players are very similar in skill. If you've easily made it to diamond, you could easily make it to crimson. It is not that hard. You just need to play with the team. You just need to go on some win streaks. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you'll be like, oh, I'm hard stuck, I'm only getting 20 something SR a game. But as long as you keep winning, you'll end up getting out of that threshold. In this game, I feel like it's kind of hard to break out of the hard stuck, but it is very doable. You just got to make sure you're improving your IQ at these ranks to a very, very high level. Like I said, everyone could shoot their gun in these ranks, right? But it comes down to the plays on the maps. Who's rotating first? Who's holding spawns? Who's anchoring? Who's playing aggressive? Who's sitting hill? Who's pushing out the points to make sure the other team is kind of getting spawn trapped? All of that stuff is crucial in these ranks. If you're in diamond and you play some crimsons, you or nobody on your team is going for rotations, or you're rotating super late. you guys are hitting ult with like 10-15 seconds left, majority of the time you're gonna lose that map just because the Crimsons are gonna be ahead of the game. They're already gonna be set up for new in their power positions, and they're already gonna be rotated holding spawns. And if none of you guys on your team are doing the extra dirty work, then you guys are fucked. I'm sorry. You guys are probably gonna end up losing the game. It's gonna get out of hand. You guys have to do that from the first and second hill, and from then on out. If you do it too late, yes, it's possible to come back from a deficit. It is very rare to, and it is way easier just to get ahead of the game if you start doing it early on. And Crimson is where the most hackers come out if you're on PC. If you're on console, I'm pretty sure you're fine, to be honest. I'm on PC. The first few days of every season, I kind of don't even play just because it is loads and loads of hackers. Literally like 6 out of 8 games, you'll get a hacker, and it's like it demotivates you to even play. Take my advice, I would not play first few days of the season. Let all the hackers get their SR, let them get to the higher ranks like Iridescent and top 250 and stuff, and then you'll start playing the real players. Season 2 kind of just came out, but I've only played a total of 2 days in season 2 just because of how bad the hackers were at the beginning of the season. I feel like it wasn't even worth playing. It made me not even want to play the game at all, and it was just a bad experience overall. When you're strictly in Diamond trying to get to Crimson, you're not going to play that many hackers unless you're in Diamond and you're playing Crimson players. If you're playing Plat players, I think you're fine. If you're playing other Diamond players, I think you're fine. Obviously, some Diamond players have more skill than others, but majority of the time they're not hacking. They just know certain spots. They know the power positions. They know when to rotate. They know what to do. Because IQ, like I said before, is a really big crucial part of these ranks. IQ could take you from a bottom Diamond player all the way to a top Crimson player alone, just from IQ, just because you know what to do. You know where people are going to come from. You're reading spawns. You know when you get parallel spawns, and you look at your minimap, bro, and you're calming. Comms are a really big part of these ranks. Yes, you could solo queue, but that shit's gonna be hell. I've done it before. I've won some games easily, and I lost a lot of games just because your teammates are dog shit, and it's like they don't know what to do, bro. So that's why I say IQ's a big part. Once you get the IQ down, you are solid, bro. Your shot can always be fixed, but your IQ, sometimes it might not always be there. This game is probably one of the easiest games to understand. So if you don't really understand this game, you're not really able to read spawns, then I would practice a lot. Just memorizing where you spawn in certain situations and where the other team spawns. In Crimson, there are Crimson players that are closer to Diamond, and then there are Crimson players that are closer to Iridescent. Personally, I've played a lot of Iridescent players this year, and I've beaten a majority of them. So Iridescent players, once you get to Crimson, they're not impossible to beat. Like I said, it all just comes down to IQ and timings in certain situations. You have to have situational awareness in these games. Every single game is going to be different. You're going to be put in different situations, and you just have to be aware of what is going on in that specific moment. You have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to move off your teammates, off of who's dying, off of who's killing who, and you have to know what to pick up at a certain time. That's what it all comes down to, bro. I feel like Call of Duty is not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people know what to do, but they can't put it into play. If you know what to do and you can put it into play, then you are golden, bro. I want you guys to comment down your ranks and see if you guys could party up with people in the comments. Try to make sure you're in the same region, because servers are a really big issue in this game. I'm personally West, and all the people that I play with are in my same area. We grew up in the same neighborhood. Thank God I have IRLs that know what they're doing and are actually good at the game. So we all grew up playing together. But if you don't have any IRLs that are good, if you don't have anyone to play with, then drop your rank down in the comments, and I want you guys to start teaming up with people and stop playing solo queue, bro. Make the sacrifice to stop playing solo. That shit is the worst thing ever. If you just don't fucking want to play with people at all and you love solo queue, then I'll be it, but that's gonna be the hardest thing to rank up. I know there's a lot of you guys that are able to get to the super high ranks while you're solo queuing, and I tip my hat to you, because you're probably a demon and shit, and you're willing to go through the gauntlet of hell. But for majority of the people, it's not gonna happen. I hope to see you guys get out of Diamond, hit Crimson, and let's just keep improving day by day. There's gonna be some shit days, and there's gonna be some really good days. COD is it's a day-to-day game. I have week spans where I play like absolute shit, bro, and then I have week spans where I feel like I'm a fucking god and I'm unkillable on the map. So it's all just dependent on how you're feeling in the moment. But yeah, let's get this work, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.